Hey guys, welcome back to SAILOLIVE. My name is Maritza and I'm so happy that you joined me today. Today is such an exciting day because today we're going to be talking about back to school advice for college students, especially because, well, I'm a college student. This is going to be my third year going back to school. I attend UTSA and I know not everyone does. Obviously it's one school out of many, but things can change through school, but the advice is always the same. I want to be sharing with you guys things that I know helped me and in hopes that it would help you. So please grab a notebook, sit down. If you're going to school, don't worry, I got your back. Just listen carefully, write these things down, and remember to start school off in the right mindset, and that's what I'm going to help you guys do today. Alright guys, so I know college can be built up in your head as this huge crazy thing I'm never going to be able to accomplish, blah blah blah, and it can be accomplished if you put in the effort. Now, I'm not perfect. I do not have the most perfect grades. If you know me, you know that I've never been an A+ student. Although high school I was a B, A, sometimes a C student, and I was afraid that that was never going to be enough for college. And it was. I mean, I'm still at this school. I'm still doing it, you know? And I'm still striving to meet my goal. And yes, there is bumps in the road, but that doesn't mean that it's over, right? So that kicks off my first advice to you, that you are going to have bumps in the road. And trust me, you're going to fail a class. You will. But you have to learn that that's not it. I failed a class. I failed Calculus 2. And I freaked out, you know. It was a big deal for me, and I'm never gonna be an engineer, blah blah blah. Turns out God didn't even want me to do that. I'm in kinesiology now, but that's another story. Point is, sometimes you have to fail in order to figure out what your next step is, you know. Sometimes that's what's gonna get you to cross the bridge, to go to the next step. And if it is trying that class again, try it again, just as I did, because you are going to fail, but you have to learn to get back up. Also, you have to learn to make friends in your classes. For instance, in my classes, there's like 300, 200, 350 people in my classes. Do you know how hard it is? You're gonna have to learn to be the person to start conversation. If you're shy, I'm not shy, right? But still, it is hard to just go up to some random person and be like, hey, what's your name? You know, it's hard. I get it. Straight up, you have to do it, because that is a big way that you're gonna get through college, by making friends. These friends that I'm talking about, they're not friends that I can go out on Saturday, or I can go out and, oh, let's go get a coffee. No, those are not the kinds of friends I have right now as of this day, but they're class friends. And sometimes that's all they're gonna be, but they're class friends, and you're gonna need those class friends, because you don't want to walk into a class and be by yourself. That's a terrible feeling, because sometimes it's good to have a group chat. That's another thing. Make a group chat to be with friends, because if you missed the homework, if you had to come down for a weekend and you missed the professor because you had to leave the class early, or you missed it in total, you're gonna need those friends to help you. With that, do not skip class. I learned the hard way not to skip class, but I'm not going to talk about that. Basically, it's a snowball effect. It's going to get worse. You skip one day, trust me, you're going to skip another one. You're going to skip one, and then you're going to skip one, and then you're going to skip one, and it's just going to go on, and the mess is going to get bigger, because now you have no friends because you missed all class, and then you have no one to help you figure out what had happened, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And let me tell you, the outcome, it's not a good one. It isn't. Don't skip class. Don't do what I did. Trust me, sometimes you're not gonna want to get up, especially because over there, your mom's not gonna be like, honey, wake up. Not like my mom told me like that, but your mom's not gonna be there to tell you to get up. That's not how it works. You have to be responsible, and sometimes leaving off to college is what it's gonna take so that can kick in. Another thing, the weight gain, the freshman 15, yeah, that's a serious thing. That happens. I gained so much weight when I went off to college. It's pretty embarrassing, actually. Definitely be aware that that is going to happen if you're not careful, like I was. I gained more than 15 pounds, and I don't want to talk about that, but yeah, it's a thing. Another thing, I lived in an apartment outside of school. I left my keys in my apartment so many times, and you would think that after the first time you'd learn. No, you don't. So I literally had to put a sign that said, remember to take your keys, because literally that happened like 10 times, and I'm not even joking. All my roommates can tell you that that's true because I literally forgot them every single time. Every single time. Another thing, if you're deciding whether to live in an apartment or a dorm, dorms are always more expensive. There is a lot of, you will get closer to the school if you live in a dorm. Like, I feel like your connection with the school, your pride for the school is going to get closer. But an apartment usually, I mean, depending on one you choose, is usually always going to be cheaper. Luckily, at UTSA, there's some, like, right there. So, it's really basically like if you're in a dorm, but you're not in a dorm. Me. Another thing that helped me out freshman year, now I'm going to be a junior, but freshman year what helped me out a lot, there was a certain class where the professor would just talk and talk and talk, and you really like, you either take notes or you listen, like you have to choose one. And what I would do in a case like that, I would take notes before class, and that really changed the game for me. Like, everybody was complaining about the professor, but honestly I was doing the notes beforehand before going to class, and that changed everything. Speaking of professors, a lot of people go to Rate My Professor, and if you don't know what Rate My Professor is, it'll be linked down below. If you type in your university, it'll give you your professors or whatever, and if you already know which professor you're gonna have, if you're trying to choose which professor you're gonna have, it's going to tell you people's ratings or how people view him or how people rate him. And it's a great thing to have, but what was a flaw to it is that once you see that, oh, he has a good rating, you kind of, you sit back and you're like, oh, it's gonna be okay. You shouldn't do that. When I got my best grades was the year that I didn't even look at Rate My Professor because I didn't have this expectation for him. I just tried my best without knowing. The year I did really good, all my professors had terrible ratings. So in the end, I've always tell people that it isn't the ratings. It isn't, oh, I got a terrible professor. It's how you look at your professor. So if you go into that class and be like, oh, it's gonna be a terrible year, it's gonna be a terrible year. Quickly, moving on. What helped me with note-taking is colorful pens. I am a colorful pen geek. But do not get like the 5 different color pens. No, you're gonna need to be quick when you take notes in college. So what I do is I get, it's like the little dinosaur brand from Target, and it has like so many different colors, like 7 different colors, and I love that pen. I could literally stock up on 5 because it's such a nice. Another thing, before you enter school, always go like a day before at least. In my school, they have this information desk where they can literally show them their map, tell them which classes you have, and they will jot them down on the map. So that's pretty neat. But I would also run around school, not run around school, but like go around school and find your classes so that you're not late the first day, because usually in college classes, everyone sits in the front, and then if you're too late, you get all the way back. I know in some of my chemistry and all my science classes, I always had to be 30 minutes before to literally just be in the middle. Just in the middle, I had to be that early, 30 minutes early. So be prepared to, oh, my class is at 8. Maybe that's not too bad. You're gonna have to be there like at 7:30. So it is kind of bad. Also, a big thing that I did my freshman year to get an hour in between whatever classes I have. That way, if I have a test previously, I can have a quick extra study session right before I go into class, so that way it's not like da 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 da. If you think, oh, I have them all back to back so I can get out early, it's a good thing, but when you really need that hour in between, you're gonna wish you did take it. You won't always have the opportunity to choose the prettiest schedule, but if you do, usually freshman year, you will be able to try and get that hour in between. I think that was a huge help. And even if I wasn't gonna study, I literally took a nap on the couch right in front of class. Like, it helps. Another thing for me when it comes to studying, I learned that I studied better when I would leave my apartment and go study at school, because at school I don't have my distractions of my TV, my computer, blah blah. Like, it's just the computer they have there, and you do your homework, and that's it. And then you want to hurry, so you want to go back home. But if you stay, you want to take a nap, and it's just, you know, it's never done. I was a band student, so I am used to a tough schedule. Like, I'm used to always having something. When I was in band, practice would end at 6, and then after 6 I had youth group, and so then it was 9, and then I had homework, and that's it. And that's how it would go. So I was used to like a tough schedule. And for me, when I don't have things to do, it's like I get a little lazier and I don't do any of it. So some people cannot handle a job, but me as a band student, if you're a band student and you need something in your life to complete that hours of band you're not gonna have anymore, I got a job. Now, I would definitely recommend working at school as a work study. To apply for work study, usually you have to apply as a work study but through financial aid. So if they allow you to, they'll fund you, whatever. It's complicated, but you can call the financial aid office and they will tell you more information about work study, but you can get a job at school. The max amount of hours that my school allows, I don't know if it's by school or by state, I don't know, but it is 15 hours. So what, 4 hours a day from Monday to Thursday usually, and it's great because it's 4 hours, it's not too much, you get paid $9 an hour, and they really work with your schedule, and they're really great people because they know you're a student. They don't expect much from you, and especially me, who I didn't have a car, it turned out great, and it filled up my schedule, so I wasn't with too little things to do, and then I got lazy and did none of them. So that was a big help. Back to what I was talking about, 8 a.m. classes and stuff. I don't recommend them just because, like I said before, your mom is not there to wake you up. So if you think that, and ask your mom, because she's probably going to be the best one that's going to be able to tell you if you will wake up or if you won't. Don't take 8 a.m. classes if you really can't do that. Like, if you really don't think that you can wake up at 8 a.m., don't waste your time. I messed up really bad freshman year thinking that I could take an 8 a.m. class, and I couldn't. Another thing, going to college, it was really hard for me to talk to my teachers and actually make a relationship with them, or like go up to them and say hi. I'm not that kind of person, but because I have trouble doing that, but I recommend it. Sometimes I would go in thinking like, they don't even know who I am, it's not even gonna matter. But boy, when they know who you are, trust me, it's great. Not necessarily with the grades, but help you out study-wise, and they're the ones who are teaching you, so who do you think is gonna know it best, right? But sometimes even I don't even have the guts to do that, so I understand, but I recommend it. Also, math was something that I struggled with a lot because I was studying engineering, and there is a lot of study programs at school. So if you have trouble with math, I know that a lot of schools have their math study program. So like for a certain amount of hours during the day, you will be able to go, and there's tutors there to help you. I recommend that a lot. UTSA has one and it's great, but UTRGV, which is a university here in Brownsville, has an amazing one, even better than the one at UTSA. So if you're from UTRGV, then I recommend that one because it's wonderful. Oh, a big one. You have to stay on top of everything, which is kind of annoying, but it's the truth, and that's the biggest part of college, is being responsible, and that includes having a planner. Not everyone's good at having a planner, but I am. And it's very important to have a planner because you get to write down everything. The year that I did not write down everything was the year that everything went bad. You forget. We're human. We forget. So get a planner. Another thing, I know, like I said in the beginning, it is overwhelming. Trust me, it is. You may think that you can't do it, or that you're not good enough, but trust me, you are so good enough that you can do it, but you just have to discipline yourself. And I'm not saying that's in like, oh, I know how to do this. I don't. I struggle. This is my 3rd year. Like, I still do not have everything down, and it's sad, but that's part of, I guess, college. Yeah, that's part of going to school and going to college. Finding your church, finding all these things that it's gonna be a little bit overwhelming, but it gets better. Trust me, it gets better. If you're homesick and stuff like that, that's another thing that will get better. You're gonna enjoy being able to learn about yourself a lot, but you will miss your parents, but it gets better. So yeah, just remember that you can do all things through God who gives you strength. So nothing is impossible. I mean, I think God has proven that time and time after, but I just hope that you remember that and you go through this year like super excited and ready to enjoy something new. It's gonna be tough, it's gonna be odd, it's gonna feel weird, but in the end, it's gonna be worth it. But with that, I wrap up this whole advice to you guys, to my upcoming college students. I'm sure you already have your stuff ready, and either you just got in and your classes have already started, or you're about to leave. I start on Tuesdays, so today's Thursday, I start on Tuesdays. So I'm excited. I'm gonna miss home, but I'm excited. So yeah, I wrap it up, and I hope and I wish you guys all the best in this new year. new school year. I love you guys very much. Please like this video if it was helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Share with all those people who you think are gonna need this advice, who are going off to college and are a little confused. Yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye guys.